Welcome to the future of factory automation. This program is a broadcast of a Japanese podcast that has been translated into English using Notebook LM. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the world of overseas PLC manufacturers.
Right, looking beyond the familiar Japanese options.
Exactly. We want to explore their characteristics, what makes them tick, their strengths, and importantly, how they compare to the PLCs maybe you, our listeners, are used to.
The goal really is to give everyone a broader perspective on the global automation landscape. See what else is out there.
You might find some different approaches, maybe even new solutions you hadn't considered. Okay, let's jump in. First up, a huge one, Siemens.
Yes, Siemens. You could almost think of them like one of the big three in Japan, but on a global scale for many regions.
Definitely. And one thing that really stands out is their total solution strategy.
That's a key point. They cover a massive range, don't they? From simple remote I/O all the way up to complex SCADA systems.
Yeah, the idea being you can get pretty much everything you need for a big project from them. It streamlines things, potentially.
Integration is a big part of that. Their stuff is generally designed to work together really smoothly. For big, complex setups, that's a definite plus.
From the little I've played with their gear, the tools felt quite user-friendly.
You think so?
Yeah, the interface seemed well designed. And their whole concept of function blocks, functions, data blocks, DBs they call them, it felt really solid for organizing code.
That structured approach is pretty fundamental now. Siemens was definitely a big part of pushing that.
Now, I know some newer platforms, like maybe Beckhoff or CodesOS, might have even fancier block features now.
True, they've evolved things further in some ways.
But for many users, the Siemens way is, well, perfectly adequate. It works, and they know it.
Familiarity and a proven track record count for a lot.
Okay, here's a really big piece. PROFINET.
Ah, yes. Their industrial Ethernet.
They're very invested in it. It's like their native language.
It's more than just the protocol, too, isn't it? There's ProFi
Right, for safety functions over the network. Crucial stuff.
ProFi Energy for power management.
And PROFINET by before, like super precise timing. Real-time applications.
It's a whole ecosystem built around PROFINET. If you buy into it, everything's meant to work together seamlessly. They're also very active in the PI organization that manages it all.
But there's a flip side, maybe. Some people feel their focus on PROFINET means they're maybe less enthusiastic about more open standards.
Like OPC UA, you mean, or IO-Link.
Exactly. OPC UA is kind of the universal translator, lets different brands talk. Siemens supports it, sure, but PROFINET feels like their main priority.
It's that classic trade-off, isn't it? Proprietary optimized systems versus open interoperability. Depends what you value more for a specific project.
On a different note, I remember hearing their touch panels are good, like the user experience is smooth.
The phrase was, they don't suck up.
Yeah, something like that, implying they're responsive, not sluggish.
That makes sense. HMI performance is a big deal.
And if you do run into problems, their online support forum is apparently really strong.
Oh yeah, that's a huge advantage. You can ask questions, get answers from experts. It's mostly in English, though.
But it's open. Very different from the sometimes more closed support channels from Japanese makers.
That community aspect is invaluable. You get real-world feedback, troubleshooting tips.
Unfiltered stuff, right. People talking about issues, workarounds, maybe challenges moving from older software like Somatic to the newer TIA portal.
Exactly. And the Siemens provides incredibly detailed manuals and application examples, too, even for simple things sometimes.
So bottom line for Siemens, a powerful option if you're looking overseas. But they definitely have their own way of doing things, heavily centered around PROFINET. You kind of have to embrace their ecosystem.
A strong personality, you could say?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's shift now. Beckhoff and CodesOS.
Right. These feel a bit different. My first impression was always that they weren't maybe as focused on making the hardware themselves.
That's interesting. More about the software and standards.
I think so. Especially languages like structured text, ST, CFC, SFC. They really push those. Beckhoff, of course, pioneered PC-based control.
Running the PLC logic on an industrial PC, basically.
Exactly. And CodesOS is more of a software platform that lots of different hardware vendors use. It's vendor neutral.
And the communities around both are massive, aren't they? Especially Beckhoff.
Oh, yeah. Huge and very active. People writing their own TwinC plugins, libraries. It's quite something.
Shows the power and flexibility, I guess. And they're both tightly linked with EtherCAT.
The high-speed Ethernet field bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, EtherCAT's performance is a major draw for them.
And they seem to be constantly innovating. Virtual PLCs, safety on virtual platforms. They're pushing boundaries.
Definitely. My take is that these platforms initially were maybe aimed more at the Kuroto, the experts, the high-end users.
Right, powerful, but maybe a steeper learning curve.
Kind of. They offered huge flexibility. Now it feels like they're trying to make them more accessible, broaden the appeal. The systems are sophisticated, no doubt.
But maybe not as, like, plug and play as a Mitsubishi or even Siemens for certain things.
Perhaps. And troubleshooting. If you're less experienced, finding quick answers online might be harder than for the really mainstream brands.
That makes sense. The pros who know them inside out can do amazing things, but getting wider adoption means making it easier for everyone else.
That's the challenge. Ease of use versus ultimate power.
Still, you see CodeYS popping up everywhere now. Advantech uses it, right? And it's getting into AI controllers and stuff.
Absolutely. And the whole trend towards PC-based control plays right into their hands. Running on Windows or real-time OSs is a big advantage for TwinCAT and CodeYS.
So the soft PLC market, where they're key players, is definitely an interesting space to watch. It could really shape where things go.
A very influential position for sure.
Okay, let's talk Wago. They always seem busy, consistent development.
And they have good support here in Japan, right? A strong presence.
Yeah, feels like it. They seem committed to keeping up with tech and giving good guidance. They even have YouTube channels for learning from Wago USA and Germany.
And they're not just in typical factory automation, building automation to KNX, BakeNet, and lighting with DLEI, using their core tech in different areas.
It seems like maybe full safety PLCs aren't their main focus. More point safety I/O.
That could be concentrating their efforts. But what's really neat is their PFC controllers running Docker.
Ah, yeah. That opens up so much. Node-RED, InfluxDB. You can run all sorts of stuff directly on the controller.
And they support CodeYS 3.5 via firmware updates, too. Plus, there's a more powerful PFC 300 series coming, developed with CodeYS.
It feels like, as maybe a smaller player, they're being smart, focusing on these flexible controller strengths.
It seems like a strategic niche focus.
You know, Wago and also Phoenix Contact, they feel like they have a more local approach here in Japan compared to Siemens or Rockwell.
More hands-on local support, I could see that. They both come from that connector terminal block world originally, which often means strong local relationships.
Right. It almost feels like the Japanese branches of those companies actually influence head office sometimes. Wago definitely gives me that local sensibility vibe.
That localized approach can be a real advantage in meeting specific market needs.
Speaking of Phoenix Contact, they have that similar feel, good local support, and their own PLC platform, PLC Next technology.
Right. And didn't you say your first Wago experience came via Phoenix?
Yeah. They loaned me a Wago kit. Funny how things work out.
Phoenix is also doing interesting things with their PLC Next store, like an app store for your PLC.
Yeah, installing paid or free apps to add functionality. That's quite innovative.
And it's interesting, they're sticking with developing their own PLC platform, PLC Next, even with the strong CodeYS trend.
Shows commitment. They're also big in PROFINET, especially ProFi-Safe. Key players in master and slave devices there.
Plus their huge presence in terminal blocks, of course. Can't forget that.
They also give off that slightly Japanese manufacturer-like feel somehow.
Yeah.
Good quality tools, too. And they've grown a lot, haven't they?
Oh, yes. Phoenix Contact has seen significant growth, moving well beyond just terminals into full automation solutions.
Okay, next. Turck. What really struck me first was their I/O Link Masters web server.
Ah, the built-in web interface.
Yes. It was so easy to use. Configuration, firmware updates, setting parameters, all in a browser. No special software needed for the basics.
It's a huge convenience factor. Saves time, simplifies things.
Definitely. I was genuinely bummed when Keyence took that off their master. Turck's implementation was excellent.
So that's a key feature for them.
Totally. They also had this tool, Arge,
Yeah.
for making web HMIs. Seemed pretty straightforward, HTML-based.
And their Proface and CIP safety stuff looked good, too. The tools felt well made.
Yeah, and they do have CodeYS PLCs often integrated right into their masters, especially the rugged IP67 ones for tough environments.
So while known for I/O Link Masters here, they do have PLC capability built in.
Right, though. I wonder if they're maybe hitting a bit of a wall on innovation in that specific niche right now. Just a feeling.
Always a challenge to keep pushing forward in this market.
Then there's Mir Electronic, or MIR.
Right. They're doing something interesting with VarioX, aren't they? Trying to create something like Beckhoff's MX system.
Yeah, a modular I/O system. Looks flexible, easy to connect modules, maybe with safety integrated too.
So moving beyond just connectors and I/O Link Masters into this modular I/O space.
Exactly. Competing with Turck, IFM in that IP67 area. But they don't make their own PLC, right?
Not currently, no. VarioX seems like their big push into that rugged I/O segment.
Okay, quick one. Banner engineering.
Don't know them as well personally, associated with LED towers, wireless I/O link stuff.
Yeah, and Turck OEMs, some of their products apparently. Banner's American, Turck is German.
They seem strong in analog I/O link hubs too, and use Modbus a lot, suggesting maybe a big presence in places like China.
Makes sense. Now, Pilz.
Ah, the safety specialists.
Definitely. Big and safety PLCs, maybe looking more into motion control too. They're involved in canop and safety, have their own controller.
Important note, Kunbus, who make Revolution Pi, is separate from Pilz. People sometimes mix those up.
Good point. Pilz is huge in ProFi Safe, though, and just a massive range of safety gear overall.
Their expertise is really deep in that area.
I've actually had good interactions with them. They've been willing to lend out interesting kit. And you see their safety controllers and laser scanners OEM'd by Japanese companies all the time.
Right. So their tech is very widespread here, even if it's under a different name sometimes. Relied on heavily for safety.
We also had Lap Cable and Schneider Electric on the list, but hadn't really gone into them. And Rockwell was mentioned briefly, maybe less focus on hyper-customized solutions here compared to Wago or Phoenix.
Yeah, different stratagems for different players in different markets.
Okay, Festo. Big name in pneumatics globally, but here in Japan.
Tough competition, right? SMC, CKD are huge. And IAI for linear actuators.
Exactly. So maybe less automatic reason to choose Festo domestically for those things. But I did try their pneumatic cobots once.
Oh, yeah. How were they?
Really impressive. Super light, quiet, and the software felt very polished. They're clearly pushing beyond just pneumatics now into AI cloud platforms for logistics, things like that.
Diversifying. Makes sense.
Their PLC and servo presence here isn't as strong, again, competition from Omron and others. But here's something cool. I think they're the only ones doing I/O Link stepper motors.
Really? That's interesting. Steppers over I/O Link.
Yeah, I'd love to try those out sometime. They also work with Siemens on linear drives, Festo hardware, Siemens drive.
Collaboration again. So yeah, look beyond the pneumatics with Festo.
Definitely. Last one, Weidmuller.
Weidmuller, okay.
They have some interesting I/O. Safety-certified modules that can trigger a shutdown if contact is lost, even if it's not a formal safety application.
An added layer of protection.
Yeah. They have controllers too, maybe Codis YS based. The M4000 series. Heard some good things from overseas users. They have a licensing model based on connection count for the newer ones.
Pay per connection, interesting.
And the remote I/O, even the modular slot-based ones, have integrated web servers. Makes setup via USB much easier.
That web server trend seems to be catching on for I/O configuration. Makes sense.
And get this. Weidmuller might be the only overseas company making CC-Link, i.e. TSN products, right now.
Wow, really? CC-Link, i.e. TSN, that's Mitsubishi's big thing. Suggests a good relationship there.
Seems like it. Okay, wow, that was a lot.
Really shows the diversity out there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. From Siemens' total solution to the software focus of Beckhoff and Codis YS, the local feel of Wago and Phoenix, Turck's user-friendliness, Pilz's safety expertise.
Different strengths, different philosophies, different network focuses.
Hopefully exploring all this gives you, the listener, a much richer picture of the global options in automation. Might spark some new ideas. Posting 200 daily episodes. Please follow and comment.